Tony Romo has gotten rave reviews for the first few games he's called on CBS, but legendary broadcaster Brent Musburger is apparently not a fan. Musburger said, quote, "Stop the hype," and added that Romo is intruding on Jim Nantz's ability to call the game. Skip, what's your take?
Shannon Sharp. My man Tony Romo has been nothing short of a revelation as a game analyst.
Right.
Tony Romo is shattering the mold of color commentary during a football game. Tony Romo is having as great a rookie year up in the booth as Dak Prescott had on the field last year for my Dallas Cowboys. And I get it that the great Brent Musburger has issues with the way Tony is just stepping all over the game call of the great Jim Nantz. And I get it that Brent is protecting his own because he's right about what he's saying. But in my view, he's wrong because as a viewer, I love what Tony Romo is doing. Jerry Jones always said Tony's mind is so quick, so analytical, he can process it so quickly that he would make a great coach. And maybe someday he will want to be a coach, but I think he's going to have a long-term future making a whole lot more money up in the CBS booth.
With less headaches also.
With less headaches. You're dead right. And yet, Tony is like a kid in a candy store. He processes what he sees so quickly that he just gushes all over Jim Nantz with, oh my God, they're in cover two. They got a week. Oh, watch the fade. He'll call it before it happens, and he has been Nostradamus. He's called a bunch of touchdowns before they even played out because that's what Tony does. And fortunately, he's up in the booth where he can't make a dumb decision and try to force a ball in coverage that he shouldn't force. So I was close with Phil Simms when he got this job, and he used to tell me, hey, people don't want to hear all that X and O jargon because Phil has a great mind too, but he decided to go the other way and just keep it simple.
Right.
And Tony keeps it simply brilliant because he's enlightening you on the fly because he's so childlike in his enthusiasm for what he immediately sees on the field. So I love it.
Skip, I don't listen to the sound, but for this, I went back and listened to clips of him calling games. And because he's a quarterback and he understands formations and he's watched when teams get in these formations, this is what they normally do. And so that's how they process information. Also, because he's a quarterback, he looks at tendencies. How many times were we in this formation? What did we do out of this formation? What did the defense do out of this formation? He's fairly new, so he's probably watching tape, tape.
You do this also every Sunday, and you bring some of it into our show on Monday, but you're not calling the game live.
And that's the thing. And I think over time, he'll do less of that, but he's so excited. He understands the game. Obviously, do I not think Phil Simms could have done that? Sure, he could have. John Madden, we don't think John Madden could have done that, but they chose to go the route of the typical color guy.
Yeah.
Let Jim set it up, and then I cover from here. See, Brent is looking at it through the eyes of Jim Nantz. He's a play-by-play guy. I'm gonna give you your time. Don't step on me. I won't step on you. Let's just drive along. We're side by side. We're just going down the road together. But Tony, sometimes I don't have a problem with it. I think eventually, the fans are they're not going to want to hear that all the time. It's kind of like, Skip, you know what's going to happen in the movie. Oh, watch this. Joy, watch this, Joy. Like, okay, I get it. You know what's going to happen now. Can you let me figure it out on my own?
I do that to Ernestine every time we rewatch. like Die Hard's my favorite all-time.
The first one?
Movie. The first one.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely. I know every line by heart. And I keep elbowing her. And I do the line. She says, well, just let me watch it. She knows it too. But in this case, look, Jim Nantz is all-time great at what he does.
Yes.
He provides the mortar for the telecast.
Right.
And has he probably been a little frustrated with Tony occasionally?
Right.
Maybe. But Jim Nantz also just wants to win, and they are winning with this duo.
Right.
And so I assume Jim is just fine staying a little bit out of the way and letting him have a little leeway.
You talk about now. Jim has huge range. I mean, he does college basketball, he does golf, he does football. He does it all. And this is new for him. Obviously, when he and Phil started, when him and Jim started, when Jim and Phil Simms started, Phil had already done this before. He came from NBC, so he understood the dynamic in what he was supposed to do and how this thing is supposed to go. Phil understands. Phil, I can say Phil. Jim Nance understands that Tony is a rookie at this.
Yep.
And he's going to make some mistakes. Over time, he will get better and realize I got to get in and get out. I can't get in, stay in so long, and then I'm over Jim, and Jim's not able to sit me up. He'll get better at this. He'll understand. He's young. There's no rookie quarterback coming into the NFL that's going to win the MVP. So Tony Romo will get better at this job. So Brent, don't be so harsh, but Brent is looking at it through Jim Nance's eyes.
Yeah. And
he's not looking at it, I don't think, so to speak, from a fan's perspective.
Yeah.
Because this is new to them. They haven't heard anybody that come on and can say, well, they're getting a 3-by-1 and say this is going to happen, and then it happens.
Yeah.
Normally they say, I think this is a run. He's on there saying, Jim, in this formation, they're 80% run, and then they run the football. In this formation, they throw weak side, and here they throw the ball weak side.
Yeah, Tony's tone is, oh, my God. Like, look at the coverage they're in.
Perfect.
Oh, watch the fade. They got the fade. And then it's fade touchdown.
Right.
So what pleases me the most, as I said many times on this show last year, is that I hoped Tony would be a superstar at this so that we could eliminate this long shot possibility. If Dak has the odd game at Denver against the no-fly zone, not all his fault, mostly Dez's fault, in my opinion, but that you don't have the option out there of Cowboy Nation saying, yeah, look, he's right up there. He's right up there.
But Skip, being up high is amazing. Being up there and looking at things like, okay, they're in this, watch they play this coverage. It is really easy. I mean, I don't have to study tape, but I can tell you within a second, okay, they're in this coverage, the ball should go here. Because you watch so much tape, Skip.
Wait, you saying you want Tony?
No, I want no part of that. No, I don't want to watch tape.
You don't
like
want
that.
Brent coming for you?
No. I don't want to watch tape like that. But I think Tony's doing fine. I just believe that over time he'll understand that he needs to lay out quicker and not impede on Jim. But if Jim doesn't have a problem with it, as long as Jim and Tony, they win on NAMI, or they're the number one broadcast team across the 3 networks, Jim doesn't give a damn about what Tony's talking about.
Tony.
Exactly.
Rick Pitino is out at Louisville. We'll discuss that next.
What?
And I won't back